What's up, you guys? Stone Paxton, and I am back again with another one. You know what? The last video I didn't get a chance to cover other issues concerning the Grammy, an issue and subject on BabyFace and what happened to him at the Grammys. Also, I wanted to bring up again as well, since that last video, I noticed that there's been an uproar in the country community. I don't know, man. And I said, anytime you go outside the box and do something as an African American, for some reason, it seems to be either too much focus on it or too much ridicule. And I did speak about how country started in the black community. Country music started in the African American community. So did rock music. And these are not trivial things that I'm spitting to you or that I'm sharing with you. These are things you can go do research. You can do your research and you can find these things out. So there's been a big controversy over this Beyonce winning, country album of the year with the Grammys, because of course she didn't win country album from the Country Music Awards. So I guess they're completely disappointed with the fact that Beyonce has taken home Grammy of the year for country album, which kind of bothers me a little bit because I'm kind of like, why make a big deal about it? I mean, she worked really hard. The point is she won Grammy of the Year for Country Album of the Year. She won the Country Album of the Year as a Grammy Award. So why make a big deal about what she has accomplished? Well, the problem is it's more so country is controlled by a very small circle of people. And these people that control country music do not want to see it dominated. And this is my belief. You know what I mean? I will stick by my belief. Me being in the music industry for as many years as I have, you learn a lot, especially being on the business side. And I feel the problem is they do not want too many African Americans to come in and dominate the country music awards. I mean, think about it. Think about it. If you have 20 to 30 African American artists popping into the Grammys, or excuse me, even the Grammys, but especially the Country Music Awards, and they're winning these awards. It's too easy for country music to become black. And, I don't want to make this about a black and white issue, but the truth is, that is the real truth. The real truth is, I believe that there isn't, or they do not want it to be room to be dominated by anybody that's outside of what they visualize in their heads as a country artist. Now, I don't need to go any deeper with it for you to understand what I'm saying, but because I've kind of already said it. There's really, people are really freaking out about Beyonce winning Country Album of the Year for the Grammys. And I get it. I get it where you feel like maybe Beyonce's doing too much. She's putting out too many records. And I don't get it. I get it and I don't get it. From a competition level, I can get it. The competitors are bothered because they know they can't compete with her. So I get it from that point of view. But from the point of view of working hard and earning the right to be in that position to be nominated for a country music award, they still did not allow that to happen. So when she got Country Album of the Year from the Grammys, I guess they're truly bothered by that. Because you know what that means? That kind of means eventually it's probably going to follow with her eventually getting a Country Music Award or something close to that. So they're bothered by that, you guys. And I wanted to cover that a little bit. But really, I wanted to get into the subject of, there was an interview that was done on the red carpet by the Associated Press. And they'd done an interview on the legendary BabyFace. I've had an honor to be in the studio and being around BabyFace through different people that I've dealt with in the music industry. BabyFace is a gentleman. He's a very classy and, how can I say, very well spoken, very quiet spoken. Very extraordinary in his personality and his musicianship. And he has written, and I'll say this again, and I'll reiterate this again after I say it. He has written the soundtrack to a lot of people's lives. He does country. He can do rock. R&B soul is his claim to fame, and he's written for everybody. There's not one person on this earth that he has not written for, from R&B to pop and even to rock. Eric Clapton, Bobby Brown, Michael Jackson, Celine Dion, Whitney Houston. I mean, and I'm just kind of tapping on a little bit, but his resume goes deep. I should have got the resume so I can read to you everything that he has done. I was watching the Grammys. I'm usually at the Grammys every year. I'm a Grammy member, voting member. So, of course, I get discount on tickets. And I didn't go to the Grammys this year. Although nobody with my team went when Chris won. Chris didn't even go to the Grammys. But the TBC group took home a win, like I said in the last video. Album of the year, my big brother Vasal Benford produced with Marley Marl, Chris Brown's album. So that was album of the year that the company that I'm involved with and I work for, we took home album of the year. So the thing about being at the Grammy is you get to rub shoulders with some really cool people, and you get to do the red carpet, right? They have the early red carpet you can do and things like that. But what bothered me the most was to see this interview of BabyFace go down, and I was confused because at first it started off great. The girl was asking him questions and, about, different stuff with music and his thoughts about music now and different stuff like that. And in the middle of the interview, the girl that was with her, and I think this young lady that was with her, I think they just brought her on to help during the Grammys. So they had more people with their company, with Associated Press, had more people interviewing people, right? So I think they have a number of people that they send out into the field to interview. So I don't even think this young lady even really works for AP, for the Associated Press. Honestly, I don't think so. But I tell you, she made one of the biggest mess ups you can make on a red carpet. And it's kind of like, to be honest, it's kind of like a mess up that happened that anybody would tell you that, why, how did you make a mistake and make that mistake? Because what she did was so noticeable. I would have personally been embarrassed. I'm going to be honest with you. Like me personally, I would have been embarrassed because the way she did it was so reckless. I just was like, I shook my head like, this has got to be one of the most embarrassing moments for BabyFace. I mean, look, he's here at the Grammys. He's getting interviewed and one girl's interviewing him. And then the other girl calls out another artist in the middle of his interview. She literally called out another artist's name to call her over, to interview her as BabyFace was being interviewed by the young lady who actually works for the Associated Press. I don't know. I think if I was the CEO of Associated Press or HR, I don't know if they have a human resource. I'm sure they do. It's a pretty big company. I think I probably would have gave them some off days. I probably wouldn't have fired them. But for sure, I would have gave them a week off. Like, take a week off. Think about what you just did, right? Think about what you just did. Now, the young lady that was interviewing BabyFace, it even threw her off because BabyFace wasn't really talking to her. He was talking to the girl to her right. And he said, you know what? Y'all go ahead and do that. Go ahead and, handle that. Go ahead and handle that. And he kind of just walked away. Now, they did come back with an official, apology, but I felt like they probably should have saved the apology because it didn't even feel real to me watching it. It just felt kind of watered down. And, well, the one young lady said something very interesting. She said, I feel like I allowed that to happen. She took responsibility for that girl's mistake. So I'm thinking maybe this was a girl that she vouched for to come and work with them. And she took responsibility for what the young lady, the mistake that was made. She put it on herself. Lots of respect for that young lady because for her to say, you know what, I feel like it's my fault that this happened, even though she wasn't the one to voice out that was said, was hey, such and such. Hey, hi, hey, in the middle of the interview, right? She wasn't the one that was interviewing Babyface. She wasn't the one that did that. But she took the full responsibility for it because I think she didn't want this girl either to get fired or maybe she wanted to make sure she protected this girl with an opportunity to be able to work for AP again, Associated Press. So she took charge and took responsibility for it. I don't think I could have done that. I think that young lady would have been on her own for that one. I would have been like, hey, I had nothing to do with it. And she said, I'd like to finish my interview with Babyface. I mean, just see what else he had to say. I think Associated Press should probably go on the record and interview Babyface with a side interview and apologize and finish that interview with a totally separate interview because that was completely reckless. That was very unprofessional. And it didn't shine great light on Associated Press with the people they have representing them. Now, they had this black guy who worked for AP, and he was trying to say, oh, things happen, on the red carpet, things, so much going on. And he was trying to do the save. He was, I ain't gonna say he was Uncle Tom, but he was kind of throwing them Uncle Tom vibes out there. He was, I'm just like, dude, chill out, man. Just let the ladies talk because you had nothing to do with it. I don't even think he wasn't even there when they were talking. I don't think he was. I just saw the two girls, but he was trying to do the save for her. He was trying to say, oh, things happen on the red carpet and we got people in our ears and they're telling us when to stop and when to shut down. He was trying to make it like it was one of those things. No, there's no way. Somebody in the ear said, hey, while Babyface being interviewed, why don't you yell out to another artist to come over? I'm sure that's not what happened. I'm sure, because somebody higher up does not want to get fired. So they're not going to tell somebody, hey, while Babyface is being interviewed, I need you to run over and get an interview right in the middle of him being interviewed. I need you to yell out, not even run over. It'd be different if she had just walked away. She actually yelled out for this artist and and kind of, like, hey, I don't see anybody in your ears. And when I say in your ears, they have different people talking to them in their headsets, right? So the black guy that worked for AP, he was trying to say, well, there's so much going on, things happening, and there's just so much commotion and things happening and mistakes happening. And I was like, dude, stop trying to do the save, man. You over there trying to win points for the company, dude. You're not going to win any extra points for the company. They don't care you over there trying to do the save. They can save themselves. And he over there trying to do the save. He's trying to rebound the shit, right? So I laughed at that, but that was very tacky as a professional entity. That was completely tacky and over the top. Babyface is music royalty. He is music royalty. And for somebody to get him on the red carpet, interview him, and in the middle of that interview, yell out another artist's name to come over. That's, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think they would have gotten at least that other one. Not the one that was doing the interview on him, but the one that yelled the name out. Oh, she would have definitely got. I would have said, take the whole week off. Hey, listen, do me a favor. You go take the whole week off. I'll holler at you. We're going to sit down and have a conversation about how you handle interviews and artists and how you do not just yell an artist's name out. We don't do that here. So you know what? Go take a break. I'll talk to you in a week. We'll sit down in the conference room. Give me a second. I'll put this TV connected to the computer and it just loves to. Now, if I was recording, that TV would have never went off. It would have never switched back. It would have stayed right on the screen connected to the DAW. But it's weird. It's like I'm talking and it just switches over. Anyway, my studio has magical energy happening, you guys. But listen, so I would have honestly told her, listen, you go take a week off. We're going to holler at you. We're going to have a conference meeting. We'll have a great conversation about what and why you shouldn't do certain things on the red carpet. we're going to have a conversation as to what made you do that. Because I need to know why you did it so that the next red carpet we have you on, you don't do that. I just need to make sure you're good and you understand that you don't do this to a celebrity and embarrass him. I'm sure if Babyface knew he was going to go to the Grammys and be interviewed and be embarrassed, he would have never taken that interview on the red carpet. But he stopped because he likes to give his time and he likes to share his knowledge about the younger generation of music and what's going on with music and how excited he is about music and where it's at right now with the younger generation, with some of the interesting things they're doing with music. But that young chick she had me upset. I was upset for Babyface. And as an interviewer, this is something like I was on a couple red carpets. Well, more than a couple. I've done my share of red carpets, Soul Train Music Awards and other ones. And there's always your publicist is trying to get you through the timeline of interviews because there's cameras set up. It's like me talking to you now. So behind me would be, let's say I'm being interviewed by somebody now. But behind me and to the left and right are tons of other people that might want to interview an artist, right? Doesn't matter. Just tons of people. They want to get their interview. And especially if you're a major celebrity, they definitely, all of them, every last one of those people are trying to get an interview. So, and you got your publicist who's trying to keep you on schedule as well. But most interviewers don't do that. Like, I'm trying to remember the last time I saw somebody yell out somebody's name, an artist's name, to get them to come over when they're in the middle of mid-flight of an interview. I don't think maybe something way back in the day. It's just something rare that doesn't happen. Anybody will tell you when it comes to red carpets, that is something that is considered looked down on and frowned down on as a person interviewing, as a person that's doing the interview. When you see that, you know that that's complete bad business. You don't do that, right? So I just don't see how it happened. I'm still kind of like, dang, that's kind of weird that it happened that way. But I'm sure that young lady from this point has learned her lesson and she realizes that, okay, I made a big mistake. I can't do that again. I need to make sure I watch. She should have been paying attention to the interview that the young lady was doing. And if she's going to try to get the attention of an artist, and this goes for anybody that's out there watching this that interviews people, or maybe the up and coming people that are interviewing. Obviously, this young lady had some sort of experience. So I'm going to say this to the ones, as an artist who gets interviewed on red carpets, I'll say this to people that interview, man, don't do that kind of stuff, man, because that was just crazy reckless. And to the young lady, if for some reason she sees this video, you got a lot of learning to do, because you had to know that that move you made was like super, super duper ass backwards. You know what I'm saying? You could have stepped away. She could have stepped away and went to the artist and said, hey, when we're done with Babyface, or if she had a mic, can I interview you? Or when we're done with Babyface, can we interview you? Can you just give me 5 minutes, 3 minutes of your time? That's typically how it's done. But yeah, I was like, man, either she didn't know who, you know what? Let me stop. Didn't matter if she didn't know who Babyface was, right? Still, you don't do that. You don't do that in an interview. That's just super uncool. So that kind of bothered me, man. You know what I mean? I forgot to talk about it on the last video. So I said, let me talk about it on this video. And I just felt bad for Babyface because his contribution to the music industry is unspoken, right? And we don't even have to talk about it. We know what he's done. For those that know music, know that he has done the soundtrack to life this man has created. And he should have gotten much better respect than that. And I still think that Associated Press should do an interview and to correct that, to do an interview with Babyface, side interview, and finish what they started. Or the young lady should ask them, is it okay if I reach out and finish an interview with Babyface? And that would be cool. Show up to the studio location, do an interview on him, and correct that and apologize And BabyFace will understand. He'll be like, yeah, things happen, I get it, but it shouldn't happen that way. Now, Face is very political how he moves. He's very strategic. So he's certain things he's just not going to say. He's a businessman. He's a smart guy. He knows how to talk and he knows what to say and when to say it. So he's not going to say too much. He might think it, but he's just not going to go in on her like that. He'll laugh and smile a little bit and just be like, yeah, that was kind of, he'll be like, oh, it was kind of crazy, but he's probably not going to say really what he wants to say because he has a lot of strong relationships and he likes to keep those relationships, and he's all about respecting people in a way where he can still say what he has to say, but without going overboard. So she's still not going to get what he really wants to say, but he'll say it in a way where she'll pick up what he's really trying to say. So I think it would be cool to save face if they interviewed him. That would be cool, but that shouldn't have happened to BabyFace, you guys. I was appalled. And then this other issue with Beyonce. Why is the country music community so over the moon in a negative way? So we'll say under the moon about Beyonce and her winning this Grammy. This really makes no sense. You guys got to dig deeper into this. There's another thing going on with this thing. They're really bothered. And I'm not making this up. You can go look it up. Country artists that are really bothered by this Grammy win for Beyonce. I don't get it. So leave a comment at the bottom. Help me understand. Maybe it's something I'm missing. I'm just an artist too. I'm a businessman, an artist, writer, arranger, producer. Is there something I'm missing? Is there something that I am missing about this? Because, yeah, I don't get it. I really, really don't get it. What's the big issue about her winning Grammy of the Year for country album? What is the problem? Why is Beyonce the country music community's focus and concern? What bothers them so much? What bothers them so much? Feel free to comment under the bottom. What do you guys think bothers the country community so much about Beyonce winning country album of the year when they already stopped her from winning a country album nomination with the Country Music Awards? So she didn't win that. So you did what you had to do to stop that. Okay. You did it. You did great. You stopped her from winning country album of the year, country artist, music artist album of the year, in the Country Music Awards. Okay. She didn't win that. So you did it. You did your job. But you want to come over here and you want to shut that down with her not winning the Grammy. So then now all these narratives that are out there about Jay-Z paying for her Grammy. I mean, we do. Now, let me just say, there are some creative stuff that goes on in the Grammy community. I'm not going to go too deep and indulge in it. Me being a member, I can tell you some things that people have hit me up with when I am submitting, when I had my album considered for a Grammy nomination, and then other people that have hit me up, which they don't supposed to do, by the way. So there are creative things where people will say certain things that happen. Do those things happen? Yeah, some of those things do happen. So there's a narrative that supposedly her award was paid for. Let's just say this. In the entertainment industry, most of the things you see, there's always a catch to them. There's a catch-22. It's just the truth. You know what I mean? But you cannot take away the fact as an artist that she has worked for this. She has worked for her success. And it doesn't matter what no one says. It doesn't matter what no one behind this camera says. It doesn't matter about the country community and what they think. Her fans are going to her fans will always outweigh what the country community thinks. It doesn't matter what they think, because she's got the fans that will go, and her records are going to go platinum all the time because her fans will go and support her. Period. So it kind of doesn't matter what the country music community thinks. To be honest, they probably just want to go ahead and embrace her because she's not going anywhere, you guys. Beyonce is not going anywhere. She's getting ready to work on this new album, and it's going to chart, and it's going to hit Billboard, and she'll end up getting another Grammy for that, and so on and so forth. And Beyonce will slow down when she chooses to slow down. And this is what artists have to understand. It's probably best just to stay in your lane and work as hard as you need to work. But trying to stop her is only going to fuel her fan base to want to see her win. Listen, you guys, Stone Paxton Music and Life, Stone Paxton, the MPC connoisseur, Stone Paxton University. Thank you for watching this video. I am going to do another beat build video to work out. So I'm going to go right into that video. So you might see me with the same outfit. I'm just going to go ahead and get it done with, so I don't have to try to shoot another video tomorrow. But listen, I'll catch you on the next video. And thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe, share this channel, share. Listen, just share, you guys. Click the bell notification. Share the love, share the music, share the knowledge. And I'll catch you on the next video. And I'm out. Peace.